I'm joined today by a huge contingent of CoreTech Leasing's staff. Our first question is going to go off to Barry. Barry, thanks again for joining me. I'm glad that I get to see you every time we go through ILTACon and at ILTAON this year. So first, why should ILTA team members learn about CoreTech Leasing products, services, all your awesome portfolio?
Oh, great. Thanks, Beth Ann. We're really thrilled to be a part of this this new virtual project. We think it's a great way to reach out to the community. And, CoreTech, we've been in various stages, a 25-year partner with ILTA. And one of the things that we're really known for is our experience in the large and medium law firms. We have a dedicated legal leasing sales team that have provided millions of dollars of financing to support ongoing operations for law firms of all sizes over the many years that we've been involved. We are business partners with many legal specific providers such as Adirant, Thomson Reuters, and many other vendors. We understand your business and we can provide insights that we've gained over those many years across the range of customers that we deal with on a daily basis. Having the fortune to work with many of the top 200 firms, we've been providing lease and consulting services on many types of assets and specialty projects. With our ILTA family, get involved in a lot of technology products, but we do a lot of different assets and software and services projects, as well as laptops, desktops, tablets, phones, all that traditional kind of technology. As an independent lessor, we can provide an unbiased source of advice. We're not tied to any one manufacturer. We're not limited to any individual funding source. We're really a full service organization that's capable of providing everything you could imagine in the financial services category related to legal, especially.
The pandemic has really changed up the way that products are released, services are available. What do you guys think has been your most innovative change up to this point to keep CoreTech Leasing at the forefront of technology?
Well, I don't want to steal anybody's thunder on this, but we actually, prior to the recent pandemic, had already begun interviewing our client base about what are the tools that they would need to effectively manage their database. We launched a brand new data tool in the last 6 months called CoreCare. CoreCare is both an internal productivity tool that allows CoreTech to deliver best-in-class customer service across our entire breadth of services. But what it also did is it provided an integrated asset management system for all of our customers that can be utilized for any type of asset that includes both a desktop version as well as a mobile version for both iOS and Android platforms that was specifically designed for IT technicians to service equipment out in the field. So I think, listening to our clients' needs, developing solutions, and then launching them has become a major skill set that CoreTech has that a lot of our competition aren't able to deliver.
All right, thank you, Barry. Our next question is going to go over to Mike. Mike, how will law firm workloads change? I know this has been a big discussion point for us internally, especially with the pandemic.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I've been at CoreTech for 8 years now. I've actually been in the technology financing business for 29 years. We've seen a lot of changes over the last 5 or 6 months with COVID. One of them is we've been seeing a lot of different types of investments in tools and technology, and it's been accelerating at a rapid pace. So assuring that firms' partners and support personnel are able to access vital customer and internal data from home has been one of the critical issues that CIOs have been working through. Firms need to keep current with technology tools to remain competitive in the remote world as we're living in today. Whether it's implementing new software or hardware projects and having records, have access to records and the latest technology for litigation, and the importance of securing consistent technology tools is more important than ever. Converting what otherwise might be a large capital expenditure for hardware or software projects into a monthly expense can help firms conserve capital, keep money on the balance sheet, and keep bank lines open. So we at CoreTech would love the opportunity. We work with many top 200 firms in the country. We're great at solving problems and creating solutions for firms so they can get the projects completed they need to get completed, but do it as a monthly expense and not blow their budget out.
We hear a lot from firms that the monthly expenditure on products and services is sometimes just too great. What's the best way you think you guys can help them out?
So we can help, small firms, medium-sized firms, large firms, make a monthly payment that works in their budget so they can get their projects completed.
I think that especially at this time, the innovation of technology, that is super, super important. Whitney, our next question comes on over to you. How do you think firms benefit from this leasing and financing option?
I think the biggest benefit right now in the current environment especially is that leasing allows firms to retain cash and improve liquidity for the unknown future. And it allows firms to acquire more with less. As one of our COO partners recently shared with us, leasing is not just financial, but it's also incredibly operational. Keeping up with the pace of change in technology is challenging, and it doesn't always align particularly well with ownership. And I guess that as firms require, more automation and remote access to information, having reliable equipment available on a regular refresh cycle is not only essential, but it also helps ensure a higher quality level of service to clients. And lastly, the last point I wanted to mention was that having all of your assets under one master lease agreement with CoreTech allows you to save time and money to manage multiple vendors as well.
Michele, how do firms save from paying cash for their technology and equipment? It's a lot of the same conversation, and it's not one that we have nearly enough.
Sure. Thank you, Beth. When it comes to technology, no, you're really not saving money by paying cash for that. You're paying 100% for the equipment up front, and you don't really get that back once you spend it. Over the useful life of technology, specifically for equipment like laptops, desktops, phones, servers, so on, anything that contributes to daily business operations, using cash actually does not save you money because the value of all of these assets that I just listed out starts rapidly depreciating the minute that you take them home and turn them on. So because of this, our fair market value lease allows you to buy more now and pay for it over the time at only a fraction of what it would cost to buy. This leverages the time value of money and allows you to reinvest that savings into other key initiatives for your firm. We see this more and more, especially in the current economic climate. Many firms are converting their IT projects and acquisitions to a predictable monthly expense. And so we can also think about saving money when we talk about the savings that comes from having your technology on an appropriate refresh cycle that matches its useful life. A well-timed refresh cycle mitigates security risks, it reduces downtime and maintenance, and it assures that your equipment remains in compliance with your IT department standards. And as technology rapidly changes, IT standards are changing as well to meet those updates. And finally, I want to touch back on that biggest myth that paying cash saves money over the long run. We actually offer a free consulting service through our lease analyzer that shows how we can save you time and money with a well-designed lease program. The lease analyzer reviews terms and conditions of any existing lease or finance agreements that you may have to show you where specific and rather insidious terms are actually costing you more money on the back end. And this consulting service also includes a lease versus cash analysis if it was a toss-up between buying or leasing. This allows you to have something tangible to refer to when making the most informed fiscal decisions for your firm.
I think it all comes down to that continuity circle, right? For this team, how much you put in to how much you get in the end. I think the changeover between Whitney's good points about having a lease option to your good points about cash flow, and I think that brings us very, very well into the next question with Sara. Why is CoreTech a better leasing partner? Why is this really the option we should go with?
This is one that's kind of near and dear to my heart personally. CoreTech Leasing absolutely understands the legal market. I've known CoreTech Leasing for quite some time. I've worked with them in different ways. Certainly I've known Scott McFetters for several years. And when I had an opportunity to come over here, I started reaching out to several of my contacts, which I've carved out over the years at law firms. And unanimously, everybody pretty much echoed the same sentiment that CoreTech Leasing is just a really tight, solid company and a great place to be. So I was really excited to come over here. And I think that through CoreTech's time in the legal, through North America, working with some of the AmLaw 200 firms, working with both the IT and the finance side, I think they really took what they were learning and hearing from the folks that they were working with and digested that and really pushed out a really best of class service. I also really like the fact that we are independently owned, so we're not a part of a bank or a manufacturer. And this, of course, can allow for a structure in which we can utilize multiple funding sources to get the best terms on a variety of equipment under one master lease agreement. And this ultimately saves you the hassle of having to negotiate terms and conditions with multiple lessors for different types of equipment, or from different manufacturers. And in many cases, we can actually distribute payment streams to or between your existing banking relationships, allowing you to maintain those relationships. And I mean, after being a client relationship manager and, floating around this space for the, as many years as I probably care to count, relationships are really, really important no matter where you are. And then lastly, kind of to that as well, our clients have access to our executive level, pretty much all the time. It just would require, a phone call, an email, maybe even a text. And then of course you have our legal sales team right here. And, you can reach out to any of us at any given time. And, we all work very closely together. And if we can't answer it, we can certainly forward it off to somebody who can. And you're not going to be stuck in some sort of horrible 800 phone number looped, awful music, purgatory or some sort of jammed up 866 support call. It just feels really good to be able to have a direct line to the people you need to talk to. So I think that does kind of make us stand out.
I'm grateful that you've been involved with ILTA for so long. I'm grateful that you're at CoreTech. And I'm really excited about the opportunities for some firms to have the information at their fingertips from, just that constant contact, that person that they can always reach out to. I love that. As we end this conversation today, Scott, I want to toss it back over to you. I love a good elevator pitch. Can you walk me through yours? Tell me from the very base level how a law firm would know it's working with the right lessor.
So I've been in the leasing technology for over 30 years, and I've been to every ILTA since 1995. Over the last 13 years, we've done really a great job in developing a great team that understands law firms, that understands what they need, what they want, and they also understand that nobody at a law firm wants a surprise, especially if it's financial. So what we do is we've done a great job of educating the law firms from A to Z in leasing. What could cost them money? What if, you got to look at it. The attorney's not going to find everything. The finance person's not going to find everything, and neither is the CIO. So they also need to listen to other people to let them know what things could cost them money that they may not read in a lease line, in a sentence, in a paragraph, in a master lease, a lease schedule, or something like that. And we've earned relationships over a 25, 30-year period. And we really feel comfortable with the legal community and all the vendors, the law firms, and everybody else and consultants that are involved in that industry. But what we talked about, the core care, the lease analyzer, the lease versus buy analysis, these are all things that save firms money. So I really want to thank the team and let everybody know out there that the buck stops here, that you always have access to me. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me if I can ever assist in any way.
Thank you guys so much. I feel like I've learned an incredible amount about leasing and how I can get more information. This feels like the warmest hug I could ever have gotten walking through a booth. Thank you guys all so much for joining me today.